3 here. In this video I'll be showing you guys a tutorial on simple steps to editing a montage using any type of gameplay clip from Call of Duty, Battlefield, any game you could imagine. You could probably edit into a montage for YouTube or any site that you want. So I'm going to go through the simple steps using Sony Vegas to be a professional looking edit in your video. So I unfortunately don't know a lot about After Effects. That is a very good program to use for editing, but I'm not that good at it yet, so I'm not planning to do a tutorial just yet on After Effects. So I'm going to be showing you in Sony Vegas Pro 11. I highly suggest, if you haven't got the programs from Sony, you can get any type of good editing program from Sony, and I think Vegas Pro is one of the best that they have. You can use Vegas Pro 10, 11, or 12. I think those are the best ones to choose from, and they're the most recent, so they're really good. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my videos folder on my computer's hard drive, and I have an HD PVR for my capture device, and if I just recorded a clip, I will have it be put right into here. I'll probably give it a name right away, and I'll be able to find it easily. But usually if it's any type of montage clip, usually with a sniper, a shotgun, anything, it's usually in a Call of Duty game. It could be Battlefield or other games, but Call of Duty is usually what I use for montages. So I'm going to go into my videos folder, and then I have a folder for Sony Vegas, and then I have another folder inside there called montage clips. So I have, for my clan, all their clips and my own clips that are on my clan account, and then I have my personal account for any personal montages, and other folder for any other channels that I might be editing for. So I'm going to go into my personal folder. I'm going to go with this feed I got with the shotgun on Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and I'm going to drag that right in, and just going to use this one clip for the editing tutorial. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the marker at the beginning, or you could just hit this little button over on the right side underneath the preview, and I'll bring your marker all the way to the left side on the timeline, so it's all the way at 0. So that's just for anything when you're editing. It doesn't mess up with the keyframes that you're going to be inserting by accident inside the video, so that your edits will only display, could be anywhere in the middle of the video instead of throughout the entire video. So always leave it at 0 before you do any editing on a clip, or you could just do it at the beginning of the clip. It depends on where you want to insert the edit or effect. So first thing I'm going to do with this clip is I'm going to put in the HD PVR crop over the actual clip. That way it takes out all the black bars that were surrounding the outside of it. So all that simply is a little bit of a zoom, maybe once, twice, maybe even 3 times, depending on your game you're recording. It's going to create some black bars around it. So I already have a preset called HD PVR that's going to take away all of those black bars around it, just to make the clip look a little more professional. So now that's the first thing I like to do. Now the second thing I always do on every clip is go right click, switches, and then through the switches menu click on reduce interlace flicker, and then right click, switches, disable resample, and that's going to do a lot of good things for you. It's going to make the clip look a lot more sharp and professional looking, so that it doesn't mess up when you're rendering it out and displaying it on YouTube, or just looking at it after it's rendered. So now that I've done that, if I want to add cinematic black bars on the top and bottom of the clip, I'm going to add a new video track. I'm going to go into media generators. I'm going into solid color. I'm going to choose black, and I'm going to drag that to the very top of all the video tracks, and now you're going to get this black screen. Everything's going to disappear. It's just a little bit of black. It's just a black color that's on top of the entire video. So in order to get rid of that and bring out the black bars, what you're going to want to do is go into the effects button right on the clip right here, and that'll bring you all these plugins and effects that you have already installed. So what you're going to want to go to, it should be installed by default, is Sony cookie cutter, and I'm going to add that in, press OK, and now it's going to give you this as the default. Let's see, I don't know exactly what I used right now, so that's what it's going to look like. What you're going to want to do is set these settings in when you're using cookie cutter. That's the default, and now I'm going to show you the settings that you need to plug in. So you might want to pause the video, plug in these settings in the cookie cutter, and give it a name like cinematic black bars, and you'll get this effect on the top and bottom of the entire clip. So from here, I'm going to show you, just in case you want to make the black bars smaller or bigger, you can just hold this and that will give you a good idea of how much you can change it like that. You're going to want to leave it on 3 though. You could also change it this way, but you can't go in too far because it'll create these black boxes, or little boxes that are going to show up inside the middle of the video. You don't want that, so you're going to want to stop like at about 300 or 0.3, but you don't want to go any farther past that. So just that's how you can play with how big they are, how small they are. So I'm just going to set that back to my default. And now I'm done with that, I'm just going to close this. And depending on how long or how many clips you have, you're going to want to zoom out on your video. Like if you have it zoomed in like this, you're going to want to bring out the entire timeline. Hover your mouse over the end of the black bars and hold down your left key, hold down your mouse and just drag it all the way to the right, depending on how far across you have all your clips. But since I only have one clip, I'm only going to drag it to right here. If I have music in, I'm going to insert an audio track. I'm doing that, by the way, by hitting the right click, and it'll give you these little options, and that's just how you insert the tracks. So I could drag in some music if I want right here. Probably want to have that louder than the gun volume, and you're probably going to want to have the gun volume lower than the music. So now that you have this, it's looking great already. You could stop here if you want, but to add more effects, what you can do is, I'm going to go to this track here where the gameplay is being shown. I'm going to go into the effects for the entire track, and I'm going to add in Magic Bullet Looks. If you don't have that, I would suggest you search it on Google, YouTube, and you can figure out more on Magic Bullet Looks. But it's one of the best options for color correction. You can look up some other tutorials. I don't have any tutorials on how to install these great effects you can add in, but you're going to hit edit, and then I have some installed color corrections already on here that I can play with. So I have a color correction pack I have installed on my computer. I can play around with this. It will change around everything you're going to be seeing on the screen and the colors, just to give it much better effects. It will add some blur around the outer edges, maybe add in the brights, or it just plays around with it, makes it look really cool, really professional. Gives you that montage look you're looking for. But I think I'm going to leave it at that right now. And you're going to want to finish when you're done with that. And now the video clips will change. I also actually have some defaults that I've customized myself, and I added some, just like 3 different little color corrections I set up myself. You can hit it from the preset menu, and I'm just going to use that for now, I guess. I like that. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, that looks really nice right there. Okay, now that I've already recorded this in theater mode on Black Ops 2, so I do have a slight pause right here, so I might want to edit that out. So I'm going to always take out just the first couple seconds. Always leave a couple seconds before you start recording anything in a game like this. That way there won't be any problems with the editing or any errors that you might get, or any problems with the gameplay when you're recording. So I died right here, so I'm probably going to end it right where I died and just crop out that part. Now I want to bring the cinematic black bars with the entire clip. So now it's going to be looking really great. It's going to be hard to let you preview anything with effects on it when you're showing the preview in best full. So your computer is most likely not powerful enough to give you a preview. So I suggest using preview half, if not try preview quarter, and that might give you a really bad looking display for your preview, but it might be the only way you're going to be able to preview it. So I'm going to try to preview this. It's not going to be the greatest because you have a lot of heavy effects on here with Magic Bullet looks. So now let's look at the
Threat neutralized.
and let's see. I'm going to wait for the last kill, so I'm going to use the frames key to get really slow down into the spot right when I fire on him. Alright, that looks like a good spot to add some sort of slow motion. So right when the bullets come out of the gun, I'm going to click on that spot. You're going to want to make sure the video file is highlighted on the timeline. And I'm going to get to the frame right when the bullets, or maybe right before the bullets. I'll do it right on the bullets actually. Alright, so with your keyboard you're going to hit the S key right on the spot where you want to add the slow motion, and probably find the spot where you want the slow motion to end on the clip. And I'm going to go right here, I guess, and I'm just going to move this extra continued part of the gameplay and just move it out of the way for now. And there's different ways you can get the slow motion effect on Sony Vegas with any type of clip. So I'm going to hold down my control key on the end of the video clip that I want to have slow motion on, and I'm going to hold down my mouse and drag it all the way to the right. That is one of the simplest ways to get slow motion, but it isn't the slowest you can get it to be. It's good for a little bit of slow motion if you just want to add it in quickly. But if you want a really professional looking slow motion, I'm just going to undo what I just did there. There is another plugin called Twixtor, and that is one of the best slow motion programs I think there is. So I'm going to click add OK on just the clip that I want to have the slow motion on. So this is the default settings for Twixtor. So I want to show you guys what are the best settings. So if you want to pause the video right now just to copy down these settings, if you have Twixtor already installed in, you can just copy these settings in, and you'll get really good results for your video slow motion quality. And right now I have it set at 20. I believe this number is out of 100, so this is at about 20% slow motion right now. So you could set it to different slow motion just by changing this number or moving this little scrolling bar right